Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapyat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakhar Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So do we have Amini? I mean, Aditi?
Yes, I'm here, Jim.
Good morning. How's Chirag doing?
He's okay. Probably he has a fever and cold, and maybe we're not sure yet if it's COVID or flu or what.
Well, there seems to be a flu bug going around from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Do you want to read or shall I have Howard read while he's here?
I'm fine either way.
I don't have that intro to the chapter.
Okay, so we'll have Aditi read because she's got the newer version. Okay, where are we in our text?
We're on number 7, the mind.
Chapter 7, the mind?
Yes.
Okay, go for it, Garl.
The mind. As long as the mind is there, your body and your world are there. Your world is mind-made, subjective, enclosed within the mind, fragmentary, temporary, personal, hanging on the thread of memory.
So let's stop there. The way Vidyaranya languages this is very clear, and I love it. There are 2 layers of mental projection. The first is done by Ishvara, and that's the imagination within Brahman of the phenomenal universe, the speed of light, stars, black holes, etc. In actuality, that includes all name and form. But that projection is inherently neutral. I like to say, is the speed of light good or bad, just or unjust, right or wrong? No, it just is. All the names and forms simply are. But they do come about sankalpena, by means of imagination. We can say mind with the big M. Then the nature of the human mind, our individual mind, is we superimpose on an inherently neutral world our likes and dislikes. I like this, I don't like that, I'm afraid of this, that's attractive, I want this, I don't want that. All the values are my particular mental projections, which keep me from seeing the phenomenal world as it is. There's one layer of seeing it as it is without my projections. So we're invited to practice this samadrishta, this equality of vision, keeping the mind tuned up, letting all the sensory data just pass through without having judgments about it. Gita says where a leaf, water, gold, a lump of earth are all the same. And of course, the deeper understanding is to see all of it is, in fact, just mental projection. What's really out there is Brahman and Brahman alone. The nama rupa, the names and forms, are just the play of mind. So, the practice, don't take it seriously. Seen, but not real. Now, we get no reinforcement for this from the phenomenal world and people out there. They keep trying to tell us, be afraid, gloom and doom, or this is what's really valuable. Go after it, struggle. And all that does reinforce my individual's mind's projections, which then make me suffer. Any thoughts on this before we go on? Next verse, or next idea, next whatever.
You're muted.
Sorry about that. There are very interesting books written by apparently very competent people in which the illusoriness of the world is denied, though not its transitoriness. According to them, there exists a hierarchy of beings, from the lowest to the highest. On each level, the complexity of the organism enables and reflects the depth, breadth, and intensity of consciousness without any visible or knowable culmination. One law supreme rules throughout, evolution of forms for the growth and enrichment of consciousness and manifestation of its infinite potentiality. Maharaj, this may or may not be so. Even if it is only so from the mind's point of view.
Yeah. So the point here is, in the phenomenal world, phenomenal experts will come up with all sorts of spiritual ideas. But what Maharaj is going to say here is, it may be relatively true or not, but it's still all mind. Going on.
Even if it is so, it is only from the mind's point of view. But in fact, the entire universe, Mahadakash, exists only in consciousness, Chidakash, while I have my stand in the absolute, Paramakash. In pure being, consciousness arises. In consciousness, the world appears and disappears. All there is me. All there is mine.
So let's review our terms here. The word the translator translates as consciousness is the word chaitanya. which is another word for that name and form, the objective mind with a capital M. Whereas Maharaj uses chit for the ground of being, pure awareness. So you've got chit, the eternal subject, never changing. And then you've got Chaitanya, or we could say Chitta, which is more the individual mind, the play of consciousness that seems to undergo a change. Mind with a capital M. Going on.
In pure being.
Can you up your volume? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah. That should be better. Is that good?
Much better. Thank you.
Before all beginnings, after all endings, I am. All has its being in me, in the I am that shines in every living being. Even not being is unthinkable without me. Whatever happens, I must be there to witness it. Question: why do you deny being to the world? Maharaj, I do not negate the world. I see it as appearing in consciousness, which is the totality of the known in the immensity of the unknown. What begins and ends is mere appearance. The world can be said to appear, but not to be.
Yes. So if I see a rainbow, I am not denying the existence of a rainbow, but it's not something solid that I can march up across to Valhalla. If I see a mirage in the desert, I am not denying the appearance of water in the desert. I am denying the fact that it's wet and water. It is, in fact, heat waves off the sand. So also, the ignorant person sees the phenomenal world of name and form and believes they are concrete, substantive, and separate from consciousness. The jnani sees the same world, but their understanding of what it is much different. It's all Maya. It's all Sankalpa. It's all Brahman in the end. Going on.
The appearance may last very long on some scale of time and be very short on another, but ultimately it comes to the same. Whatever is time-bound is momentary and has no reality. Questioner: surely you see the actual world as it surrounds you. You seem to behave quite normally. Maharaj: that is how it appears to you. What in your case occupies the entire field of consciousness is a mere speck in mine. The world lasts but for a moment. It is your memory that makes you think that the world continues. Myself, I don't live by memory. I see the world as it is, a momentary appearance in consciousness. Questioner: in your consciousness? Maharaj: all idea of me and mine, even of I am, is in consciousness. Questioner: is then your absolute being, Paramakash, unconsciousness? Maharaj: the idea of unconsciousness exists in consciousness only. Questioner: then how do you know you are in the supreme state? Maharaj: because I am in it. It is the only natural state. Questioner. Can you describe it? Maharaj. Only by negation, as uncaused, independent, unrelated, undivided, uncomposed, unshakable, unquestionable, and unreachable by effort. Every positive definition is from memory and therefore inapplicable. And yet, my state is supremely actual and therefore possible, realizable, and attainable. Questioner. Are you not immersed timelessly in an abstraction? Maharaj. Abstraction is mental and verbal and disappears in sleep or swoon. It reappears in time. I am in my own state, Swarupa, timelessly in the now. Past and future are in the mind only. I am now. Questioner. The world too is now. Maharaj. Which world? Questioner. The world around us. Maharaj. It is your world you have in mind, not mine. What do you know of me, even when even my talk with you is in your world only? You have no reason to believe that my world is identical with yours. My world is real, true as it is perceived, while yours appears and disappears according to the state of your mind. Your world is something alien, and you are afraid of it. My world is myself. I am at home. Questioner. If you are the world, how can you be conscious of it? Is not the subject of consciousness different from its object? Maharaj. Consciousness and the world appear and disappear together. Hence, they are two aspects of the same state. Questioner. In sleep, I am not, and the world continues. Maharaj. How do you know? Questioner. On waking up, I come to know. My memory tells me. Maharaj. Memory is in the mind. The mind continues in sleep. Questioner. It is partly in abeyance. Maharaj. But its world picture is not affected. As long as the mind is there, your body and your world are there. Your world is mind-made, subjective, enclosed within the mind, fragmentary, temporary, personal, hanging on the thread of memory. Questioner. So is yours. Maharaj. Oh no. I live in a world of realities, while yours is of imaginings. Your world is personal, private, unshareable, intimately your own. Nobody can enter it, see it as you see, hear as you hear, feel your emotions and think your thoughts. In your world, you are truly alone, enclosed in your ever-changing dream, which you take for life. My world is an open world, common to all, accessible to all. In my world, there is community, insight, love, real quality. The individual is the totality in the individual. All are one, and the one is all. Questioner. Is your world full of things and people as is mine? Maharaj. No, it is full of myself. Questioner. But you do see and hear as we do. Maharaj. Yes, I appear to hear and see and talk and act, but to me it just happens. As to you, digestion or perspiration happens. The body-mind machine looks after it, but leaves me out of it. Just as you do not need to worry about growing hair, so I need not worry about words and actions. They just happen and leave me unconcerned. For in my world, nothing ever goes wrong.
So let's stop there. What he's talking about is the dissolution of this personal sense of agency, this karta, the agent, which is itself an illusion. The Master Jesus framed it when he said, I of myself do no thing, it is the Father within that doeth the work. So, from the standpoint of practice, the invitation is to give this up, to give up the paranoid self observation. How am I doing? Am I okay? What do they think of me? What do I need to fix or change or secure or defend? Why did you say what you did? I don't know. What's your psychology for saying and doing this? I don't know. The yogi just spontaneously trusts and acts, viewing the body, mind, intellect. It's a robot, it's a shadow self. Gita uses this wonderful language of asparsha yoga. Asparsha means untouched. I have no real relationship with the equipment. It never touches me, nor does the world. Yet, the body, mind, intellect can only act because it exists in me. Just like your shadow. If your shadow was long or short, have you done anything to make it long or short? And does it ever affect you? Going on.
Chapter 8. The Self Stands Beyond Mind. Happiness comes from the self and can be found in the self only. Find your real self, Swarup, and all else will come with it. Ideas of movement, of restlessness, of pleasure and pain are all in the mind. The self stands beyond the mind, aware but unconcerned. Questioner. As a child, fairly often I experienced states of complete happiness verging on ecstasy. Later, they ceased. But since I came to India, they reappeared, particularly after I met you. Yet these states, however wonderful, are not lasting. They come and go, and there is no knowing when they will come back. Maharaj, how can anything be steady in a mind which itself is not steady? Questioner, how can I make my mind steady? Questioner, Maharaj, how can an unsteady mind make itself steady? Of course it cannot. It is the nature of the mind to roam about. All you can do is to shift the focus of consciousness beyond the mind. Questioner, how is it done? Maharaj, refuse all thoughts except one, the thought, I am. The mind will rebel in the beginning, but with patience and perseverance, it will yield and keep quiet. Once you are quiet, things will begin to happen spontaneously and quite naturally, without any interference on your part. Questioner, can I avoid this protracted battle with my mind? Maharaj, yes, you can. Just live your life as it comes, but alertly, watchfully, allowing everything to happen as it happens, doing the natural things the natural way, suffering, rejoicing as life brings. This also is a way. Questioner. Well, then I can as well marry, have children, run a business, be happy. Maharaj. Sure. You may or may not be happy. Take it in your stride. Questioner. Yet I want happiness. Maharaj. True happiness cannot be found in things that change and pass away. Pleasure and pain alternate inexorably. Happiness comes from the self and can be found in the self only. Find your real self, Swarupa, and all else will come with it.
So let's pause there. So, what is worldly happiness? We run around with a low grade state of discontent, of irritation, of annoyance. We don't even realize it. And we then think, if I get what I want, I'll be happy. What we're really doing is thinking, if I get what I want, then that low level agitation will stop. So when desire and object of desire become one, I think the locus of the happiness is in the object, the Vishaya. What I've done is use the object to induce the state of being momentarily free from this low level, sometimes not so low level, craving, jonesing, wanting, discontent, agitation, dukkha, suffering. The problem is, to the degree that I invest my swarup, which is ananda, in the phenomenal world, the more I go after it, the more I think about it, the more I attribute happiness to it, the more I develop an addictive relationship with the world. If I sit in meditation and I can't seem to be quiet, I'm uncomfortable, what I have is a spiritual hangover. It's vasana pressure. Just like if I go to a party Friday night and I drink cheap champagne and I wake up Saturday morning nauseous with a headache and I think I've caught the flu. No, you have a hangover, which is the inevitable result of Friday night's indulgence. No escape. Indiscriminate egoistic revelry with the objects of the senses will leave an impression in the mind of asana. And in my foolishness, I want to fix that feeling. Yoga says the craving, the kama, the kartavya, the compulsion to act, the trishna, the thirsting, is itself the suffering. Get rid of the middleman. Start practicing bringing the mind home to yourself. The ordinary person is like someone hitting themselves on the head with a hammer. Why are you hitting yourself on the head with a hammer? Because it feels so good when I stop. I want more money. I want a better house. I want a different partner. I want this. I want that. I got it. well, maybe it'll be even better if I get more money, bigger house, different spouse. Put down the hammer. Or as Yoga Vasishta says, why try to cover the world in leather when you can wear shoes? But this only comes when I begin to see that my Swarupa, my self nature, is bliss itself. Any thoughts on this? So the assignment, watch your mind. Own our own suffering. Notice when I'm wanting, how painful it is. Yoga says there's no other suffering than wanting something you don't have. There's the inverse, wanting to get rid of something I can't stand. Or the really psychotic one, buy up fear. I'm afraid I'm going to lose what I have, or I'm not going to get what I want in the future. Own your ananda. Watch your mind. Notice that at the satisfaction of a desire, happiness tastes the same. It will vary in intensity and duration, depending on how badly I wanted the object and how completely it satisfied me. But that Vishayananda, that bliss that we get through the sense objects, is always temporary. Let go of the world. Turn the attentive faculty inward. Forget the world. Stay with I am. And unlike the objects of the senses, wherever you go, there you are. Self is always available. And it's free, and it won't rot your liver. You don't have to look your best. Going on.
Questioner, if my real self is peace and love, why is it so restless? Maharaj, it is not your real being that is restless, but its reflection in the mind appears restless because the mind is restless. It is just like the reflection of the moon in the water stirred by the wind. The wind of desire stirs the mind, and the me, which is but a reflection of the self in the mind, and appears changeful. But these ideas of movement, of restlessness, of pleasure and pain are all in the mind. The self stands beyond the mind, aware but unconcerned. Questioner, how does one reach it? Maharaj, you are the self, here and now. Leave the mind alone, stand aware and unconcerned, and you will realize that to stand alert but detached, watching events come and go, is an aspect of your real nature.
So we don't need to reach the self, attain the self, acquire the self. When are you ever not you? problem is the agitated, extroverted, ignorant mind. Get out of the mind is the way to heal the mind. Quit believing your mind. Don't get involved with its petty habits. Going on.
What are the other aspects? Maharaj, the aspects are infinite in number. Realize one and you will realize all. Questioner, tell me something that would help me. Maharaj, you know best what you need. Questioner,
Well, let me stop there. So, Guru appears in three ways. The physical guru, Swamiji used to call a temporary psychological device. In many ways, it's the least important. Guru shows up as the circumstances of our lives. The Dalai Lama was once asked who his most important guru was. And the questioner was expecting him to name some senior Lama. But His Holiness said Mao Zedong. Why? Because Mao is the one who vexed him the most. So Guru shows up as the circumstances of my life that disturb. It is a spiritual axiom that if I'm disturbed, no matter the cause, I'm the one with the klesha. I'm the one with the defilement. I'm the one with the affliction. I'm the one with the attachment. I'm the one with the control issue. I'm the one with the identification. Well, what about the world? Isn't it sometimes wrong? That's irrelevant. The rightness or wrongness of the world is just ideas. The agitation is my mind. Step towards peace is to own it. That's my guru. That's life pushing my button, telling me, Vairagya, let it go. Then what Maharaj is saying here, ultimately, your innate wisdom is your guru. If you're quiet and if you're honest, not fooling yourself, you will know what needs to be done. And that's the most useful, our own innate wisdom. Going on.
questioner, I am restless. How can I gain peace? Maharaj, for what do you need peace? Questioner, to be happy. Maharaj, are you not happy now? Questioner, no, I am not. Maharaj, what makes you unhappy? Questioner, I have what I don't want, and I want what I don't have. Maharaj, Why don't you invert it? Want what you have, and care not for what you don't have. Questioner. I want what is pleasant and don't want what is painful. Maharaj, how do you know what is pleasant and what is not? Questioner. From past experience, of course. Maharaj, guided by memory, you have been pursuing the pleasant and shunning the unpleasant. Have you succeeded? Questioner. No, I have not. I have not. The pleasant does not last. Pain sets in again. Maharaj. Which pain? Questioner. The desire for pleasure, the fear of pain. Both are states of distress. Is there a state of unalloyed pleasure? Maharaj. Every pleasure, physical or mental, needs an instrument. Both the physical and mental instruments are material. They get tired and worn out. The pleasure they yield is necessarily limited in intensity and duration. Pain is the background of all your pleasures. You want them because you suffer. On the other hand, the very search for pleasure is the cause of pain. It is a vicious cycle. Questioner. I can see the mechanism of my confusion, but I do not see my way out of it. Maharaj. The very examination of the mechanism shows the way. After all, your confusion is only in your mind, which never rebelled so far against confusion and never came to grips with it. It rebelled only against pain.
So let's stop there for a moment. There's a popular definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That is humanity's deeply rooted belief that getting what I want will make me happy. And what Maharaj is pointing out is, how's that working out for you? Yoga says, why not try giving up the wanting? See what your swarup is, your self nature, minus the jonesing mind. Going on.
Questioner. So all I can do is remain confused? Maharaj. Be alert. Question, observe, investigate. Learn all you can about confusion, how it operates, what it does to you and others. By being clear about confusion, you become clear of confusion. Questioner.
Let me stop there. I like to say 90% of healing is awareness. If I clearly see what's really going on, the spiritual action to take becomes just obvious. Part of that is being honest. Going on.
Questioner. When I look into myself, I find my strongest desire is to create a monument, to build something which will outlast me. Even when I think of a home, wife, and child, it is because it is a lasting, solid testimony to myself. Maharaj. Right. Build yourself a monument. How do you propose to do it? Questioner. It matters little what I build as long as it is permanent. Maharaj. Surely you can see for yourself that nothing is permanent. All wears out, breaks down, dissolves. The very ground on which you build gives way. What can you build that will outlast all? Questioner. Intellectually, verbally, I am aware that all is transient. Yet somehow my heart wants permanency. I want to create something that lasts. Maharaj, then you must build it of something lasting. What do you have that is lasting? Neither your body nor mind will last. You must look elsewhere. Questioner, I long for permanency, but I find it nowhere. Maharaj, are you yourself not permanent? Questioner, I was born, I shall die. Maharaj, can you truly say you were not before you were born? And can you possibly say when dead, now I am no more? You cannot say from your own experience that you are not. You can only say, I am. Others too cannot tell you you are not. Questioner, there is no I am in sleep. Maharaj, before making such sweeping statements, examine carefully your waking state. You will soon discover that it is full of gaps when the mind goes blank. Notice how little you remember, even when fully awake. You cannot say that you were not conscious during sleep. You just don't remember. A gap in memory is not necessarily a gap in consciousness. Questioner, can I make myself remember my state of deep sleep? Maharaj, of course. By eliminating the intervals of inadvertence during your waking hours, you will gradually eliminate the long interval of absent-mindedness which you call sleep. You will be aware that you are asleep. Questioner, yet the problem of permanency, of continuity of being is not solved. Maharaj, permanency is a mere idea, born of the action of time. Time, again, depends on memory. By permanency, you mean unfailing memory through endless time. You want to eternalize the mind, which is not possible. Questioner, then what is eternal? Maharaj, that which does not change with time. You cannot eternalize a transient thing, only the changeless is eternal.
So let's stop there just a moment. We never make something eternal. We don't become something eternal. Through vichara, through inquiry into the nature of I begin to see that I always am. And I am always nirupaham, without any form. Achalam, I never move. I am not born. I don't begin anywhere. Now, we think memory is what provides my sense of continuous experience. So what is today? The 12th of February. What were you doing on the 12th of February 10 years ago? Do you know? Do you?
No.
But did you have any experience of non-existing? Memory is no test of the permanency of I. But anytime you remember to stop, thin the mind, introvert the attentive faculty, and notice the knower, there's nothing there. Good times and in bad, the self is always the same. Now, to hear it is paroksha jnana, indirect knowledge. What we need to do is over and over and over again. Notice the knower till it becomes aparoksha jnana. That's my direct experience. Going on.
Questioner. I am familiar with the general sense of what you say. I do not crave for more knowledge. All I want is peace. Maharaj, you can have for the asking all the peace you want.
Mm.
Questioner. I am asking. Maharaj, you must ask with an undivided heart and live an integrated life. Questioner. How? Maharaj, detach yourself from all that makes your mind restless. Renounce all that disturbs its peace. If you want peace, deserve it. Questioner. Surely everybody deserves peace. Maharaj. Only those who don't disturb it deserve it.
So it's almost like a decision. Make the decision to make peace of mind your most prized possession. Nothing in the world is important enough for me to lose my peace of mind. This is the deepest meaning of renunciation. It's not about getting rid of the sense objects. It's about giving up my concern for it. But what about politics? Oh, it's going so badly. Gloom, doom. Don't worry. Every single person involved in politics today will die. Every form of government will pass. And the great tide of life comes in and goes out. Comes in, goes out. Just goes on. And none of it touches going on.
Maharaj, only those who don't disturb it deserve it. Questioner, in what way do I disturb peace? Maharaj, by being a slave to your desires and fears. Questioner, even when they're justified? Emotional reactions born of ignorance or inadvertence are never justified. Seek a clear mind and a clean heart. All you need is to keep quietly alert, inquiring into the real nature of yourself. This is the only way to peace.
Any thoughts on this before we go on? Very powerful chapter.
Chapter 9. Responses of Memory. Perception, imagination, expectation, anticipation, illusion, all are based on memory. There are hardly any borderlines between them. They just merge into each other. All are responses of memory. Questioner. Some say the universe was created. Others say that it has always existed and is forever undergoing transformations. Some say it is subject to eternal laws. Others deny even causality. Some say the world is real. Others that it has no being whatsoever. Maharaj, which world are you inquiring about? Questioner, the world of my perceptions, of course. Maharaj, the world you can perceive is a very small world indeed, and it is entirely private. Take it to be a dream and be done with it. Questioner, how can I take it to be a dream? A dream does not last. Maharaj, how long will your little world last? Questioner, my little world is but a part of the total. Maharaj, is not the idea of a total world a part of your personal world? The universe does not come to tell you that you are a part of it. It is you who have invented a totality to contain you as a part. In fact, all you know is your own private world, however well you have furnished it with your imaginations and expectations. Questioner, surely perception is not imagination. Maharaj, what else? Perception is recognition, is it not? Something entirely unfamiliar can be sensed, but cannot be perceived. Perception involves memory. Questioner, granted, but memory does not make it illusion. Maharaj, perception, imagination, expectation, anticipation, illusion, all are based on memory. There are hardly any borderlines between them. They just merge into each other. All are responses of memory. Questioner, still, memory is there to prove the reality of my world. Maharaj, how much do you remember? Try to write down from memory what you were thinking, saying, and doing on the 30th of last month. Questioner, yes, there is a blank. Maharaj, it is not so bad. You do remember a lot. Unconscious memory makes the world in which you live so familiar. Questioner, admitted that the world in which I live is subjective and partial. What about you? In what kind of world do you live? Maharaj, my world is just like yours. I see, I hear, I feel, I think, I speak. And I act in a world I perceive, just like you. But with you, it is all. With me, it is almost nothing. Knowing the world to be a part of myself, I pay it no more attention than you pay to the food you have eaten. While being prepared and eaten, the food is separate from you and your mind is on it. Once swallowed, you become totally unconscious of it. I have eaten up the world and I need not think of it anymore. Questioner, don't you become completely irresponsible? Maharaj, how could I? How can I hurt something which is one with me? On the contrary, without thinking of the world, whatever I do will be of benefit to it. Just as the body sets itself right unconsciously, so am I ceaselessly active in setting the world right. Questioner, nevertheless, you are aware of the immense suffering of the world? Maharaj, of course I am, much more than you are. Questioner, then what do you do? Maharaj, I look at it through the eyes of God and find that all is well. Questioner, how can you say that all is well? Look at the wars, the exploitation, the cruel strife between the citizens and the state. Maharaj, all these sufferings are man-made, and it is within man's power to put an end to them. God helps by facing man with the results of his actions and demanding that the balance should be restored. Karma is the law that works for righteousness. It is the healing hand of God.
Any thoughts on this? Going on.
Chapter 10. Witnessing. You must watch yourself continuously, particularly your mind, moment by moment, missing nothing. This witnessing is essential for the separation of the self from the not self. Questioner. I am full of desires and want them fulfilled. How am I to get what I want? Maharaj. Do you deserve what you desire? In some way or other, you have to work for the fulfillment of your desires. Put in energy and wait for the results. Questioner. Where am I to get the energy? Maharaj. The desire itself is energy. Questioner. Then why does not every desire get fulfilled? Maharaj. Maybe it is not strong enough and lasting. Questioner. Yes, that's my problem. I want things, but I am lazy when it comes to action. Maharaj. When your desire is not clear or strong, it cannot take shape. Besides, if your desires are personal, for your own enjoyment, the energy you give them is necessarily limited. It cannot be more than what you have. Questioner. Yet, often ordinary persons do attain what they desire. Maharaj. After desiring it very much and for a long time. Even then, their achievements are limited. Questioner. And what about unselfish desires? Maharaj. When you desire the common good, the whole world desires with you. Make humanity's desire your own and work for it. There you cannot fail. Questioner. Humanity is God's work, not mine. I am concerned with myself. Have I not the right to see my legitimate desires fulfilled? They will hurt no one. My desires are legitimate. They are right desires. Why don't they come true? Maharaj. Desires are right or wrong according to circumstances. It depends on how you look at them. It is only for the individual that a distinction between right and wrong is valid. Questioner. What are the guidelines for such a distinction? How am I to know which of my desires are right and which are wrong? Maharaj. In your case, desires that lead to sorrow are wrong, and those that lead to happiness are right. But you must not forget others. Their sorrow and happiness also count. Questioner. Results are in the future. How can I know what they will be? Maharaj. Use your mind. Remember, observe. You are not different from others. Most of their experiences are valid for you too. Think clearly and deeply. Go into the entire structure of your desires and their ramifications. They are a most important part of your mental and emotional makeup and powerfully affect your actions. Remember, you cannot abandon what you do not know. To go beyond yourself, you must know yourself. Questioner. What does it mean to know myself? By knowing myself, what exactly do I come to know? Maharaj. All that you are not. Questioner. And not what I am? Maharaj. What you are, you already are. By knowing what you are not, you are free of it and remain in your own natural state. It all happens quite spontaneously and effortlessly. Questioner. And what do I discover? Maharaj. You discover that there is nothing to discover. You are what you are, and that is all. Questioner. But ultimately, what am I? Maharaj. The ultimate denial of all you are not. Questioner. I do not understand. Maharaj. It is your fixed idea that you must be something or other that blinds you. Questioner. How can I get rid of this idea? Maharaj. If you trust me, believe when I tell you that you are the pure awareness that illuminates consciousness and its infinite content. Realize this and live accordingly. If you do not believe me, then go within, inquiring, what am I? Or focus your mind on I am, which is pure and simple being. Questioner. What does my faith in you depend on? Maharaj. On your insight into other people's hearts. If you cannot look into my heart, look into your own. Questioner. I can do neither. Maharaj. Purify yourself by a well-ordered and useful life. Watch over your thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. This will clear your vision. Questioner. Must I not renounce everything first and live a homeless life? Maharaj, you cannot renounce. You may leave home and give trouble to your family, but attachments are in the mind and will not leave you until you know your mind inside and out.
So the point here is Krishna says the person who gets rid of the objects of desire but allows the desire to remain behind is verily a hypocrite. But his desires leave him unknowing the Supreme. So the idea here is we only let go of the world through insight. It's when I fundamentally see what's causing the problem. Ignorance tells me the problem is I'm not getting what I want. If I really pay attention and watch my mind, I will see that it's the wanting itself that's so painful. I can accept life on life's terms without the struggle. All of a sudden, the mind becomes peaceful. Okay, going on.
First things first, know yourself. All else will come with it.
So the thing here is what the Raja Yogis call swadhyaya, self-knowledge, or self-study, literally. So in the Vedanta tradition, that's usually translated as after we've heard the Guru unfold the scripture, we go home and we revise it, we review the scripture. In the Raja Yoga tradition, it means a psychological inventory. It means when I become clearly aware of what my character strengths are and what my character flaws are. What are my kleshas, my defilements, my afflictions? And again, 90% of healing is just being aware. Do I spend hours in self-pity? Do I get some sort of satisfaction out of righteous indignation? Don't I have a right to be angry because they did it to me? All of this kind of nonsense. Maybe we can start letting go of these defilements. But we don't do it from some moral idea. I should be angry. We can only do it through insight, through seeing what's really going. Watch desire. Watch what happens when you satisfy a desire. Own your dukkha, your suffering. Own your ananda. No more fruitful meditation. All right, are we close to the end of this chapter?
Yes.
Let's finish it.
Questioner. But you already told me that I am the supreme reality. Is this not self-knowledge? Maharaj. Of course you are the supreme reality, but what of it? Every grain of sand is God. To know it is important, but that is only the beginning. Questioner. You told me that I am the supreme reality. I believe you. What next is there for me to do? Maharaj, I told you already. Discover all you are not: body, feelings, thoughts, ideas, time, space, being and not being, this or that. Nothing concrete or abstract that you can point to is you. A mere verbal statement will not do. You may repeat a formula endlessly without any result whatsoever. You must watch yourself continuously, particularly your mind, moment by moment, missing nothing. This witnessing is essential for the separation of the self from the not self. Questioner, the witnessing, is it not my real nature? Maharaj, for witnessing there must be something else to witness. We are still in duality. Questioner, what about witnessing the witness? Awareness of awareness. Maharaj, putting words together will not take you far. Go within and discover what you are not. Nothing else matters.
Any thoughts? Okay, good place to end. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namah. Hari Om.